Hi everyone, welcome back to Shining Empathy. I'm Joel, and this is your reading for the full moon of, technically it's June 21st to 2016, but we're going to really feel the peak of it tonight, especially with the summer solstice, I think. So here is your full moon reading. I'm going to be using my Oracle energy cards. This is one of my favorite decks, especially when I want to get more detail out of a reading. And I'm going to be using my Seed of Life spread. It's one of my go-to spreads, especially when I want to talk about how a situation is unfolding. And I think that, especially with the full moon, we can look at how things are manifesting and unfolding and literally waxing and waning. Talked about in my last video in the new moon reading about how new moons are about beginnings and setting the intention and getting ready for the work ahead to create something and start something new. Full moon's kind of about coming to a bit of a close or a peak. We've put in all the energy and the effort into creating what we wanted to create for this cycle. So now it's about kind of celebrating and acknowledging the work we've done and reflecting on it. So let's have a look at that. All right, we have a jumper card. Man holding coin. So I think for a lot of us, especially when I'm going to be reading for all you guys, obviously there are men and women watching this video, so I'm just going to read it more about the role itself as kind of a unisex card. And this guy, this is a person who is confident. This is a person who is stable, who is maybe financially secure, or at least feels financially secure. There's no desperation on this card. This guy is he's just chilling. He's often an authority figure. So I don't know if this is someone that we have to watch out for, or if this is what we are kind of embodying right now. I want to lean towards more, this is sort of the character we're all starting to embody a little bit, or at least that we're seeking to embody. All right, just going to put that back in there. Card wanted to come out. We're going to stop right there. All right. So let's have a look. Okay, Goddess of the Moon. This card is about getting in touch with your higher self, with your intuition, your spiritual gifts, maybe healing, whatever it may be, but you're getting in touch with higher energies right now. I tend to find this just means you're getting more in touch with your higher self and you're listening to that intuitive guidance coming in right now, either from whatever it is you believe that's coming in. It's from your guides, higher self, angels, whatever it is you believe, but you're paying attention to that information coming in. And that's the root of this situation. So maybe that's where we began this cycle and what they want to talk about here. All right, contract. I used to believe that this card just represented putting pen to paper as far as signing your name to something, be it a mortgage, marriage contract, business contract, lease, stuff like that. It can absolutely mean those things, but I feel like it also means the beginning of a new business venture sometimes, or a business relationship, starting a new project. It really seems to have come up in situations where it fills that role equally. So I want to say that a sort of business project kind of thing has been created as a result of people listening to their intuition. Maybe some of you are signing contracts, maybe some of you have started a new job, maybe some of you are renting a new space or mortgage or what have you, getting married, whatever the case, but I really feel strongly that this is talking about just starting a new project. Okay, I love this card. Door to healing and personal happiness. This card, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just a beautiful card. Doors are opening to bird flying, a dove, I think, rainbows, lilies, green meadows. It's just a really lovely card. In the spot it's in right now, this is the growth area. So what it means is that we've taken steps to bring ourselves and forward and manifest a place in our lives that we're healing ourselves and we're creating happiness for ourselves. That's pretty awesome. I personally really felt like that was the ongoing theme for the last couple weeks, was like we're really being challenged to dig down, what do we want, what will make us happy, and facing down our fears and our demons and just acknowledging them, saying, okay, I see that you're there, but I can't let you control my decisions right now. I have to do something, and this is for my highest good. And I think that the energies coming in have really been pushing us to make those decisions. So very cool to see that in our growth spot. Ooh, challenge. All right. A lot of people, when they see this, it's the broken heart. And a lot of people, when they see this, they think, oh no, my relationship's coming to an end. That may be the case for some of you. I tend to see this as a heart block card. So I tend to often think in terms of chakras and energy. So the heart block essentially just means that we have something in our hearts that's undealt with. And part of this full moon period right now, what's kind of saying here is that we're going to be dealing with some heart stuff. Something's going to come up. Maybe some things that we had thought we dealt with, or we're not paying attention to, something that we're pushing down. It often relates to grief, just any kind of heartache. And there's lots of things that can do that to us. But grief is a big one for sure. I mean, it can be the grief of a loved one. It can be grief of mourning the end of a relationship, etc. So whatever it is, it's in our challenge spot, and we are all going to be challenged to deal with whatever it is that's in our hearts that's blocking it right now. Given what I saw in our weekly reading, I'm not surprised it's coming up, because if we're really going to follow our heart's desires, there can't be anything blocking us. We have to be really in touch with the truth that's in there, and if we're really going to see that, we've got to remove those blocks. So kind of seems obvious in a way that those things are going to come up and we'll have to deal with them. So be on the lookout for that stuff and pay attention to it. Dealing with it doesn't necessarily mean you have to sit there and just sit with it and sit with it and sit with it. That's part of it. We do have to feel it out, what we're feeling. But it can just mean acknowledging sometimes. Maybe it doesn't mean that we have to just take it and deal with it and cast it aside, because some of those things, we carry those with us our entire lives, and they're not necessarily meant to just disappear and suddenly heal. The healing is really about just not letting what's going on there poison our situation in the present. So acknowledge it and say, okay, you're still there, or okay, you're there. All right, I acknowledge you, but I'm not going to allow that to affect my decisions right now. And if this is in regards to some people, maybe some of you are dealing with broken hearts and relationships, or you're feeling like a relationship is coming to an end and you're having trouble, or you're seeing that the relationship is coming to an end and you're having trouble making that happen, listen to your feelings, listen to your inner guidance right now. Your intuition is really strong right now, so pay attention to those thoughts and feelings, and we'll see if any action cards come up, but just pay attention to them for right now. Oh, door to value. So this is sort of like just a really high resource card. It kind of means that resources are sort of going to start pouring in, and this is in our opening spot. So it means that that door is finally opening for some of us, if not all of us, and we're going to start getting the resources we really need to do what we need to do. Whether that's more money, whether that's more time, whether that's more emotional support kind of resources. I tend to lean more towards physical resources with this card, and I think of time and money as two really big ones. But whatever it is that's coming, those resources are going to start pouring our way so that we can do and accomplish what we need to do. All right. So this card is our strength card in the spread. All right. The Temple Path. What this means in our strength spot is that a lot of us now are tapping into, finally, our spiritual path. We're starting to really come to terms with our purpose, what it is that we want to do with our lives, and just the simple matter of getting in touch with what makes you happy, what's fulfilling. That's getting in touch with your heart. It's getting out of the brain, which in the headspace, which is always dualized. It's always this or that, bad or good, pros and cons. It's a constant duality going on there. You're never really going to come to a center like you are in the heart. So with all of us moving down into the heart and making decisions from there right now, that is putting us back on our spiritual path. So in the strength spot, it's just reinforcing that we are tapping into that right now and kind of re-acknowledging and letting us know that's where we are. We have found our way back onto our path, where we're meant to be. We're finding our purpose. So good job, everyone. It's good to see that in our strength spot. All right. Woo. Indecision. And that is sort of the fruits of our labor. So it just essentially, I think, means that we're coming to a point with this whole situation. And this can sort of be viewed as a future card. Again, I don't necessarily deal in terms of future. This is more of the outcome of the situation. It might be even something we're dealing with already, especially if the situation for some of us has unfolded to that degree. But wherever we are in the situation, indecision being the outcome, the fruits of our labor here. So we're going to have to make some choices. Do I go this way or do I go that way? Now, there's a lot of really supporting factors in here that are going to help us with making that decision. We're getting in touch with our heart. We're removing some of those blocks. We're going to be challenged to remove some of those blocks, but it looks like they are moving. So we are hearing that. We are in touch with our higher selves, our guides, our angels. We are in touch with that guidance that is coming in from somewhere. So listen to that. We've got lots of support. We're heading towards our own personal happiness. We've got the physical resources we need to do what we need to do what we need to do. And we are, rest assured, you're on your spiritual path. So when it comes time to make this choice, to make this decision, again, the only reason why we would be sitting there at indecision is because we're up in our heads. We're making a list of, okay, well, what are the good things about going that way? All right, and what are the good things about going this way? What are the bad things about going this way and that way? And we're just sitting there and going around and around and around because we can't actually make a decision. Maybe the pros and cons of each outcome or each path are just too even and we just can't make a decision based on our intellect. Bring it down into your heart and make a decision of what makes you feel good. Which path? Do I go left or right? Do I stay? Do I go? Do I act or do I not act? Which makes you feel happy? Which gives you that feeling of freedom and release and makes you feel fulfilled? And if you can get in touch with those feelings and those, maybe even you have a gut instinct about it. Maybe you're looking at one path and it's just rotting your stomach. Pay attention to those feelings. That is intuitive, okay? So get in touch with your feelings and get out of your head, and that will help you to make these decisions. Normally with this spread, I would feel the need to really bang out a few extra details, but the spread just really spoke for itself today. So I'm not gonna unfold any extra cards. I don't wanna muddy anything today. This is just, it's speaking pretty clear to me, and I hope to all of you right now. So there is your full moon reading for June 20th, 21st, 2016. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and looking forward to doing more with you. If you like this video, please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Shining Empathy. Go ahead and also like my Shining Empathy page on Facebook. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys again soon. Love and light to you all. Bye for now.